So when I found the 1/200 scale 00 fighting action kits, I also found another line of 1/200 scale kits, and those are the speed grade kits, which came out in 2007. Well, let's just look at them. So we got the RX-78-2. Of course, you have to have an RX-78-2. And the really standout feature of this line is that there are a lot of pre-applied tampo markings, and even pre-painted pieces on here. For what I want to say they're about 10 to 12 bucks a piece, and even though they're small, they are detailed up the wazoo, and they're not going to blow anybody's mind with opposability. You got basically the standard stuff you would expect, nothing amazing, nothing in the waist, unfortunately, the way it goes together. So you're not going to get amazing poses, but it's got a little bit of range. Not a fan of the giant seam lines on some of the parts. They could probably fix that nowadays. You do get the shield. It even has its own markings on it and pre-painting. Mine actually broke off at the peg, so I had to glue it back together. Not a big problem. You can still peg it on its back. Like, that's nice to have at least two options with something so small. You got the beam rifle. It even has paint on that. You do get two different hands. You get a holding hand for both hands, and then you get the trigger finger specifically for the beam rifle. And you do get a beam saber stick, because these are just pretend. There's no hole for a beam, so you get a pink it was like a white handle with a pink painted beam. So RX-78-2 is a decent kit. And then we have the Zeta, which thank God it doesn't transform. Can you imagine in a 1/200 scale? Ugh. Well, it does have a lot of tampo printing on it. You can definitely see it in the legs. Even the Z in the and that forehead jewel, nice little touch. And it's about the same. Let me zoom out so you can actually see it. But it's about the same in terms of posability. Once again, nothing in that waist. So, and it does have the shield, which I've never had a good time with it. The problem is, because these split in half, they go together, it won't take long for them to work their way off. And it even has a Z on the shield. And you get the beam rifle, which they even put some gray on the handle. They didn't have to do that. One solid chunk would be fine with me. See, there goes that fraggin' shield. Pretty sure they all came with beam sabers. It's been a while, but I'm fairly confident they all did. Next is the God Gundam. I have it with its kind of like super mode. You can swap the chest for a closed one. They even tried to put in the King of Hearts symbol on the chest. Whoa. I don't know if it'll show off. They really tried. It looks like a smudge, but it's kind of there. It is baby size. It's like molecule size. They also give you the holding hands, but a God finger hand. It also, I just noticed this right now. Haven't even seen this before. The King of Hearts is on the hand in gold. I never noticed that until right now. Okay, this thing's even higher on my list of favorites in the line. And it's still got about the same amount of posability, even though it is like a mobile fighter. But, oh, and I forgot, this one broke. I thought I glued it. I guess I didn't do a good enough job. This one broke. They're not perfect. It was actually in a, I think it was when it was in the box. I'll just have to put a little bit more glue. Well, we have the opening fins here. The legs don't open up for super mode, and the core fighter or core lander are just two pegs. You don't have a cockpit. And another thing, you do get the green beam saber, like it has in the show. So they didn't just use the same one. I like that they did it specifically green, as it should be. And they give you a replacement. They give you a replacement holder, so it looks accurate. That is definitely not a necessity in something like this. Like to make it look like you actually have them holding it. Good idea. I do like it. It's pretty neat. And finally, my favorite in the line, gotta be the Windgun. This thing looks beautiful. Not nearly as much tampo printing as the others. Mostly I see it on the wings, but I don't think it needs it. And once again, it's got the same posability. They give you a hinge for those claws, so you can still get a 90-degree bend. It's a nice touch. Could have just been solid. But everything else is pretty much the same. I wish the wings opened up, because if they open up, you could kind of fudge a bird mode. You got the shield here, and it's got some nice paint. Even the fake cockpit is there. And the Buster Rifle. Got some detail, got some paint on the canisters. And like I said, you can kind of pretend you got a alt mode by just putting the shield up here. It doesn't peg in, unfortunately, but you can pretend. If you wanted to really do it, you could glue everything. But it doesn't need to transform. I'm fine the way it is. And those are all the kits in the speed grade line. I hate the fact that there's only 4. This line should have kept going. I wouldn't even care if you had to like up the price, because 10 to 12 bucks is, I think, really good for something of this quality. With the paint, the markings especially, that's what really sold it for me. All those markings pre-applied, and they look good. They're silver and gold, so they weren't skimping with the colors. They really tried to make them look as good as they could. So we just built them, and you got them on the shelf, and they look cool. And somehow I was going to end the video without talking about the stands. Each one comes with a stand-specific name on each one. Man, the dust in there really helps you see it. Huh. The neck for the stand are just stored right underneath. Now the Windgun and the R-72 have holes in their crotch, but also in the butt. So they can be, luckily they're kind of like they're flying. These two don't, for whatever reason. The Zeta I can understand because the backpack is very close to the body. Not too sure about the guy Gundam. Maybe because he usually has a hole for a bazooka, so that made sense. And the Windgun, it has a cover. I don't know where it went, but it should have a cover on his backside if you're not using that stand. But yeah, even that, like, this line, bring it back, Bandai, please bring it back. I love all about this. You can make them so much better. Please.